So the exact same food, and this is why it's not about calories, guys. It's not about calories in, calories out. It's about hormones. Anyway, the diabetics that ate all the same food in a 6 to 8 hour eating window, insulin levels went down, hemoglobin 1AC went down, waist circumference decreased, body fat percentage decreased, blood pressure decreased. Same food. Both groups ate the same food throughout the day. The only difference is the half that had positive results ate within a 6 to 8 hour eating window. So that's Hello, this is Dr. CJ, and I want to talk to you tonight about intermittent fasting. So I'm going to do a brief video so that you can get the gems of the information in a quick time. So my goal is 5 minutes. Let's see if I can do it. All right, this is Dr. CJ, intermittent fasting. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's next week. And we got Christmas coming up. And a lot of people are worried about gaining weight over the holidays. So I want to give you just a really quick, simple, effective tool to be able to pretty much eat whatever you want, but not gain weight. So I want to share with you intermittent fasting, and I want to share a couple of studies with you regarding intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is also called time-restricted eating. So I want to share a study with you, 2 different studies, and then I want to apply that study to your life so that you can have Thanksgiving next week. And now we're getting into the holidays. I don't want anybody that's following me, if you're listening to me or watching me either on Facebook or later this video will go into my YouTube channel, Dr. CJ Benkert. I don't want you to struggle with your weight, and this is an amazing tool to use. Okay, so the 2 studies that I want to talk about, and then we'll talk about how you can utilize the results of that study into your own life so that you don't have to worry about gaining weight over the holidays. Is the first study was over 2,400 women, that's a very large study, diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. And basically what they did is the women were 27 to 70 years old, diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. They split the group in half. So half of the women fasted more than 13 hours and the other half fasted less than 13 hours. So let me just kind of put this into perspective for you. So many of you know that I advocate like a 6 to 8 hour eating window. So if you're fasting for at least 13 hours, that means you have no more than a 9 hour eating window, right? Because there's 24 hours in a day. So that means that you have no more than a 9 hour eating window. So half of the group fasted for 13 hours or more, so at least a 9 hour eating window. The other half of the group fasted for 13 hours or less. All right? No change. Listen, you guys. Absolutely no change in what they ate. They ate the same amount of food, the same food. So there was no, like reduction in calorie. The only thing that was different is half of them ate all of the food that they would normally eat and no more than a 9 hour eating window, and then the other half just ate like from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., which is what most people do. Most people are eating for 14, 15, 16 hours a day. Most people are fasting for less than 13 hours a day. So here's the amazing result of this study. Is the women that fasted for at least 13 hours, so 13 or more hours, that half of the women, 2,400 in the group, that's a big study group, the half that, oh my gosh, let me find the results. Okay, the half that, that fasted for at least 13 hours had a 36, I'm sorry, the half that didn't fast for at least 13 hours, so they had like 10-hour eating window, 11, 12-hour eating window, that half had a 36% higher risk of breast cancer recurrence. So just by eating less hours of the day, the women that fasted longer had less recurrence of breast cancer. The ones that fasted less than 13 hours, so that's most Americans, had a 36% higher risk of breast cancer. That's high. There's another study that was done where they took a group of diabetics, and in this study they actually ate the exact same calories, but one half of the group of the diabetics ate from 8 in the morning, till 8 o'clock at night, at least like 12. They ate for at least 12, 13 hours, same amount of food. Let's just give you an example. So let's say they had like, bagel, cream cheese for breakfast, and they had like McDonald's for lunch. So it doesn't really, the food didn't matter necessarily. And let's say they had a steak for dinner. The other half of the diabetics had that exact same food, but they ate it in a 6 to 8 hour eating window. So the exact same food. And this is why it's not about calories, guys. It's not about calories in, calories out. It's about hormones. Anyway, the diabetics that ate all the same food in a 6 to 8 hour eating window, insulin levels went down, hemoglobin 1AC went down, waist circumference decreased, body fat percentage decreased, blood pressure decreased. Same food. Both groups ate the same food throughout the day. The only difference is the half that had positive results ate within a 6 to 8 hour eating window. So that's my tip for you. So if you're watching me right now and Thanksgiving is next Thursday, yes, the quality of your food is important, but these studies are showing that it's actually more important to eat in a smaller eating window than it is what you eat, which blows me away, because my entire life I've been teaching people a healthy food, switch over to whole, non-processed food, real plant-based, all of that. But now we know that what's even more powerful than the quality of your food and what you're eating is how often you're eating. Because when you eat whatever you're going to eat, so next Thursday for Thanksgiving, if you want to just have an amazing day and splurge and have this big, huge, amazing Thanksgiving meal, just keep your eating window, ideally, like what I try to do. If you really don't want to gain weight, have whatever you want to eat in a 5 to 6 hour eating window. Don't wake up on Thursday, don't wake up on Thanksgiving eating right away. Let's say Thanksgiving dinner with your family is at, let's say it's at, 3 p.m. Some people do like a midday dinner. Some people do like a later in the day. Let's just say you're going to have your Thanksgiving at 3 p.m. Just plan your day so that you're eating that Thanksgiving dinner. And if you want to eat a little bit before, that's fine. Let's say you go over to your family's house 3 o'clock, and maybe you start getting hungry like around 12, 1 o'clock. It's okay if you start eating at 1, go have your Thanksgiving dinner, but I want you to be completely done eating by like 6, 7 o'clock. If you do that next Thursday for Thanksgiving, and you give your body all those hours of not eating, you're going to be burning fat, cleaning out your body. Your body's going to be working on healing and cellular restoration. So intermittent fasting, or what we call time-restricted eating, super, super powerful. So from now until through the holidays, this is the tip, the tool that I have to give you to be able to splurge and have your holiday cookies. And if you could just narrow down your eating window, you can get away with so much more. Because if you're just eating all day long, every time you eat, even if it's healthy food, you are releasing insulin. And when you release insulin, insulin is a top fat storage hormone. Now you're going to store fat, you're going to be hungry, you're going to get these spikes of blood sugar up and down. So by taking your eating time to a smaller eating window, time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting, you're going to have less spikes of insulin, less fat storage, your blood sugar is going to stay more stable, and you're going to have much less of a chance of gaining weight over the holidays. So that is my pearl of wisdom for you tonight. I know if you do it, it'll help. There's so many studies that are done on intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating and how powerful it is. How many days a week do you recommend intermittent fasting? So somebody's asking me a question. Good question, Michael. I recommend doing intermittent fasting most of the time, but I follow Dr. Daniel Pompa's rule of diet variation, 5-1-1. So we want to do 5 days of intermittent fasting, and then every week to shake it up and allow your body to be more adaptable and just stronger and more metabolically flexible. We want at least 1 day of higher carb eating or lengthening out that window so that your body doesn't think it's starving. And then I love to do the second one of the 5-1-1 is a 24-hour fast. You might think, oh my gosh, I can't go 24 hours without eating. But just think about it. If you get done eating 8 o'clock at night, you just have to go till the next day dinner, 8 o'clock at night the next day. That's a 24-hour fast. So that's what I recommend, a 5-1-1 diet variation. Any other questions before I call it a night? That was a great question, by the way. Let's see, how many days a week? Anything else? Got that. Got that. All right, everybody. Thanks, Carrie, for watching. Thanks, Dana, for watching. Julie, good to see you. Maria, Danielle, you guys are awesome. I'm here to support you any way that I can. If you want to learn more and get more lengthy, detailed trainings about nutrition and fasting and fat burning and all the amazing stuff that I love to teach, head on over to my group. On my personal page, if you look at the banner, there's a button there that you can click where you can go to my private community Facebook group where I'm primarily helping women, but men too, 40 and above, who want to lose weight, balance their hormones, and just kick ass in life again. So if that sounds good to you, go over my community page. Have an amazing evening, and I will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.